very it's just easy. I used to have a big tripod and shit.
Yeah, she's very. We got co-starring.
That's
Hey,
all right.
baby.
That's all right.
Hey, over here. Yo.
Co-starring Axel. No.
Right? That's funny. So, hey, this is Philly Overdosed, and sorry it's been a while, but today I am talking to Casey. Hey Casey, how are you?
Today I'm not doing too bad.
That's cool. You look good, actually.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know we like just be yourself, bro. You know, like we've crossed paths so many times, and I keep saying I'm gonna have my camera and stuff and whatever. And I know you've been on here, but how old are you, Casey?
Overall, I'm feeling tired and just kind of worn out. And
How old are you?
32.
Wow.
I feel older.
No. You look good. I mean, but today you look good. From I've seen more and we're safe. So, can I ask a little bit about like where you're from and how you ended up here?
Sure, absolutely. I was born in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, on a military base. My father was in the military, and from there I moved around a lot. I lived in Arkansas, Tennessee, and then from there, my father got out of the military for a while, so lived in Pennsylvania for the majority of my life. But in PA, I moved around a lot.
Did you live here with your dad too?
In
Was
Philly?
Was this one of the bases where he was at, or how?
No, there's a place called Fort Indiantown Gap, which is out by Harrisburg.
Right.
He worked out there for a while, and that's primarily where we lived, in that area.
So you were
But up
around
to
here.
that point, I moved all the time. So like,
Was that hard?
very hard. Like there was, like the household was stable. Like we were taking care of everything, but my dad wasn't there as much as he should be. But in regards to like going to school and stuff like that, I was always the new kid.
Right.
And I'd always like go somewhere and then get comfortable, maybe make a friend or two, and then
Cool.
before you know it, it'd be like, hey, we're leaving again.
Oh God.
So eventually it became very easy for me to isolate.
Wow, that's interesting. So how old do you think you were when you started isolating?
I wouldn't say isolating, I would say being guarded and getting scared to be attached.
Because I'd always have
to leave and like lose people. Yeah,
that's interesting.
And that's translated into my adult years too. Like,
yeah, because sometimes that's interesting because sometimes you think that would be fun.
I'm scared to get close to people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because every time I do, I feel like I lose them. And a lot of it's, at this point in my life, a lot of it's my own fault.
But so, what can I ask? Like, what's your addiction?
What is it?
Yeah. Your main addiction?
Primarily opiates.
Opiates.
Yeah, that's the one that's really crippled me.
Like, how old were you the first time you ever tried anything?
Tried anything?
Where were you? Like, who were you with?
Well, I remember, it's funny, my parents got divorced when I was 12. When I was around 13, I started skateboarding a lot. I started listening to punk rock music. I grew my hair real long. And I remember my dad picked me up for Easter dinner at his parents' house. And after dinner, he said, we need to talk. Pulled me to the side and everything. I remember what I was wearing and everything.
You're how old again?
I was probably 13.
Wow, go ahead.
And this was before I ever did any drug or alcohol or anything. And
did your parents drink? And
no, my dad had like a phase where he would drink and whatever, but no, nothing.
So you're 13 and
yeah, my dad pulls me to the side and he's like, hey, so I know you're smoking pot.
Oh, so you were.
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
My appearance made him think that.
wow.
Because once he left, I didn't see him anymore, so I grew my hair long. I
Oh,
started
so he
dressing
thought
differently.
because of the way you
Yeah, I was a
looked.
punk rock kid. Like, I skateboarded all the
Did you think
time.
about getting
At
about
that
leave?
point, no.
You didn't probably know
No, and
about
I
it.
remember it really upset me when he asked me that. I was like, Dad, like, I've never done that. I have no intention on doing that.
Right.
Literally, like a week or two later, I was at a football game with some friends, and
That's
the
crazy.
opportunity arose. And I did it. I smoked some weed, like, literally just to spite my father.
Right.
You know, because I just wanted his attention. That's all I wanted. Like, you know, after...
That's interesting that you recall that reason. You know. That,
Yeah, I do. I do, because I feel like a lot of my addiction is...
Was it abandonment? Kind of. Or?
Yeah. And along with all the attachment issues, and then him leaving, like, I feel like I was doing it to hurt him.
When you first.
Right. And not knowing that I was only hurting myself.
Are they still together, your parents?
No, they're divorced. They divorced
How
when
old
I was
were you
11.
when that?
I was 11.
Oh, so they were already divorced at this
Yeah,
point.
so he came to pick me and my sister up for dinner at my grandparents' house. And yeah, so this was like one of the few times I got to see him, and he confronted me with that. And that really hurt my feelings, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Because, yeah, I don't know. I guess I started, like, rebelling a little bit up to that point, but I had never done drugs or alcohol. And then he asked me that, and I was like, I don't know.
You were offended, kind of, right?
Exactly. And then when the opportunity came up, I was like, all right, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it, yeah. And then...
So did you get in a big fight with him that time and be like, Dad, no, you know?
No,
like,
I mean, I just got... I'm a Pisces. I don't know if you know anything about that, but I'm very, like, emotional, very sensitive.
I'm
so,
a
like,
Cancer, so...
I just got really, like... It's really sad. Really sad.
That makes sense. Were you living with your mom at that time?
Yeah. I had to make that choice.
Where were you?
I mean?
Again? What?
At that point, I was, like, location-wise?
No, living. Yeah, location, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was living with my mom, and we were living in the location where my dad was working, Indiantown Gap, because, like, he moved us into a house out there to be closer to work, to be home more, and then he was having an affair on my mom for a long time.
Oh.
So he moved us there and then just left.
Did you know he was having an affair?
No, nobody did.
Wow.
Nobody did, yeah.
How did your mom find out, if you don't mind?
How?
Yeah, that's...
I was 11. I really don't know.
Yeah. No, because I went through it around that age, too. I remember they divorced literally at 12.
And then what's crazy is, like, after my dad, like, broke the news to us that he was going to be leaving, he came back, like, 2 weeks later saying he wanted to come home. He took my mom out for, like, a weekend of fun or whatever. Got his name tattooed on my mom, and then literally came back and he left her again.
He had her get a tattoo with his name?
Yeah, on her lower back it has his name.
Did he get one of her?
No.
No way.
So he just branded my mom.
Right, that's
just
weird.
to leave her again.
Wow.
Which, dude,
that's
like,
crazy,
to this
bro.
day, like, I think it hurts me more than it hurts her. You know what I mean?
But
my mom's still alone, and my dad, he's on his third wife. Like, he's completely set up, retired from the military.
And what is your mom?
She struggles. She's working. She's 53, 40 hours a week. Like, she's going through it. And then she's got me, like, you know, worried sick about me all the time.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are you an only child?
I have an older sister.
And where is she at?
She actually just moved in with my mom because she was engaged. She moved to Tennessee to marry this guy, and I guess it didn't work out, so she had to come home. But
so, like, when's the first time you ever used an opiate? What was it?
I remember, again, exactly what it was, when it was. It was in 7th period study hall. I took a 100 milligram morphine pill with a friend, and it skyrocketed from there. Cause, like,
in middle school?
In high school.
In high school.
It was like probably 10th or 11th period.
Damn.
Yeah, so, like, and a bunch of my kids from school.
I mean, I can't say that I didn't do crazy stuff too, but you liked it right then?
Immediately, I loved it. And friends from school, their parents were getting pills, like abundance of them.
So you're like what, 15 maybe then?
16, 17.
Right.
And we were all my group of friends, we were getting these pills for
Where did you live at this
next
point?
to nothing. Same area, around where my dad was working.
Right. What
Yeah,
state
but
was
this
that?
was after the divorce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wow, that's interesting. So you did it with your friend in school.
In school, yep, fell in love with it. And they were so cheap that like $20 I could get enough for a whole week. I could be high through school all day. Like, and then, yeah, it just took off. And
Were your
then,
friends doing the same thing?
yeah, and that's what kind of led me to try it, because my group of friends, there was like 2 or 3 of them that had like been doing them for a while, and it had progressed to them being physically dependent to it.
Yeah,
And I didn't know,
exactly.
and I was just like, what's the hype about? You know what I mean? Why are they doing these? Like, what's going on? And then I tried it, and I understood. Like, I got it right away.
So you were getting morphine for like $20, enough to get through a week?
$20 I would get like 600 or 700 milligrams.
Those little
pills.
tiny things?
Yeah, they're little gray pills for 100 milligram ones. And then we were getting Oxy 30s for like $3. We were getting them really
In school?
cheap. Not, well,
I mean, but
from
if
kids'
you
parents, yeah.
right, so if you were getting them, then somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
the other kids are probably
Yeah.
doing it at that time too. What year was that? You remember?
Probably 2006, 2007.
So that's what was going on. Because I'm your mom's age. Well, I'm older, 55. But
How old are you?
55.
No way.
Yeah, I know, right?
No way. I thought you were maybe 38,
Really?
40. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I don't
Never
feel it.
would have known then.
Wow, cool. Thank you. But so do you use a needle?
I do.
When was the first time you ever did that?
Probably 18.
Wow.
Probably 18, because from 16 to 18, the pill situation, I think everyone realized like what they were, how much people wanted them, and how much they could actually sell them for. So
They started up.
they skyrocketed, and then someone showed me heroin. And then
Where were you living at this point?
I was living in right outside. Do you know where Lancaster is?
Oh, so you were in PA.
I was in PA, yeah, this whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know where Lancaster is. I lived there. I lived
Yeah.
do you know where Mount Gretna is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I lived in Mount Gretna.
Do you know where Lebanon?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to northern Lebanon. I was living in Jonestown, PA.
Wow.
Jonestown.
So it was all the way up there. The
Fredericksburg.
heroin was up there.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Was it like real heroin, not like fentanyl?
Yeah, this is before the fentanyl came in.
So which do you think is better?
I personally became addicted to pills, so I like the pharmaceuticals, but they're impossible to get.
Right.
And then when it comes to that, heroin is basically, the closest thing to it. So I prefer heroin, but again, now that's impossible to get almost.
Right.
And when you can get it, like you can get it around here,
Oh,
but it
really?
costs more. It costs more.
1 second. Let me just.
Well,
So-
I mean, I don't technically know what anything is, really. when you buy it.
Right. Exactly.
And
That's
they're putting this trank stuff and everything now too.
so. Where do you usually get your stuff?
It varies.
Because we're not in Kensington right now.
No, we're like right on the, and this is why I try to stay around here much until I have to go get it or whatever, because it's you
Because
can
it's
just feel the
safer.
vibe once you cross. Like,
Oh yeah, it's
you know
not
what I
safe.
mean? It's not.
And anybody will. How do you just stay alone all the time though? Don't you get really
it's-
lonely?
I do, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Like, I don't know.
Like when's the last time you used today?
Probably this morning.
And how long did it last you? Till now?
Probably a little over an hour ago.
You did? Oh,
Well, like when I do it, like I've been doing opiates for so long that like when I do it now, like I'll do it and I'll get like a euphoric rush, but then That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
The whole time while you're on it, or
No,
just
it's like a quick, couple minute rush, and then I feel it for like 10 minutes, and then it just wears
and then
off.
what do you feel like?
I just feel normal, and
always
I'm
gonna
just
feel-
staying well, basically, because then I go through withdrawals.
right.
You know
But
what
I mean, why don't you go into a detox? And
that's what's been on my mind a lot lately.
you're still young, bro.
I really I've been through detox a lot. I've been to rehab a lot. I just never was like 100% serious about it. My motives for going were,
Yeah, I mean, you're a nice looking guy. You're still young. Do you want to live this for, how long do you want to do this?
well,
You're clearly intelligent,
that's
too.
funny because I was talking to someone. I was actually talking to a drug dealer that was like standing on the corner trapping, or not trapping. They were the lookout. They were the lookout for the dealers, and I was like, do you picture yourself doing this forever? And he was like, no, I'm not usually the lookout. I'm usually doing it. I was like, no, not that. I mean, living like this on the streets,
How old was he?
probably around my age.
Wow.
And he was like, his answer kind of shocked me. He wants to get out of it too. You know what I mean? I think we all do to a degree.
You mean people especially in your like age group, because you're still young.
Just everyone out here. Like,
oh, right, but
stuck
everyone
here, addicts, the ones selling the drugs. I don't think everyone wants to be doing this.
You think it's
I
just
think
coming
it's just
to
a product of our environment, and I also think, I don't know.
Are you afraid to get well?
I'm afraid of succeeding. You know what I mean? I'm afraid.
Why?
I'm afraid of succeeding and then losing it. You know what I mean? Like I've lost everything else.
Oh, because of your repetitive life changes, maybe with.
Yeah, and like I don't know 100% what I want to pursue, and I don't. I've had experience in the past where I've went to rehab, I've gotten clean, and then I'd go to like a recovery house, and then it's like, what now? And then I get overwhelmed with like, I have to get a job now. I have all these responsibilities that I've.
That's what I meant
that
by
I've never
scared.
had, and then.
Why does that scare you?
Why? It's just a new experience. It's
yeah,
the
but
unknown,
you should be
know what I
excited
mean?
about it because you'll meet friends, you'll start getting a
I
group
know,
of people that you like, and you'll get your own apartment.
I'll start feeling better about myself.
Oh
I'll have
my god,
self-worth.
so much better.
I've had a taste of it, but like I get overwhelmed. It gets hectic with like, okay, now I gotta, I don't know. It just seems like it's very
Yeah,
overwhelming.
but what's the longest you've had clean? You said you started when you were like 16, 15.
Yeah,
whatever.
I want to say like maybe 6 months.
That's the longest since then. So that's for the past 15 years now?
Yeah.
You think you're
I may have had a little bit longer, but I might have been incarcerated too, so it wasn't really my choice.
Do you have a record?
I caught my first charge when I was 19. I was in a band and I stole some equipment from a bandmate, so I got charged for that.
What was the charge? Was it a misdemeanor?
It was misdemeanor stuff. Yeah, I don't have any felonies.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. What about your driver's license? And
I don't have one of those. Never got one of those.
Never got one?
There's so many things that like.
Would your mom help you?
Yes, of course. I just got to be doing the right thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
I gotta be doing the right thing.
So you're really lucky in that sense. What about your dad?
My dad, I don't associate with him. But there's been. I just don't measure up. You know what I mean? He's a military dad. Like, it doesn't matter how many times, like, I've tried to rekindle my relationship with him. No matter how good I'm doing, I'm not doing good enough. And, like I said, he's on his third wife now, and, like, it's hard to explain. We just don't mesh.
Does he have other kids?
Just my sister.
You're the only
same
kid?
Mom, yeah.
Does he have other kids with his other wives?
No.
Wow. Is he still in the military?
No, he's retired. He's retired and he's fat. He's well off. That's why it upsets me, because he's good
What
and my
about
mom's not. My mom's
I
single
get it.
still. She's never met anybody. And this has been, I was 11, so it's 20 years ago now. My dad's,
How does he treat your sister?
he does more for her than he does for me. Like, he, I don't know what the relationship is right now, but because they're off and on too, but like, he'll go out of his way. Like, he bought her a car. Like, he gives her, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like if I was doing differently and I was actually doing okay, maybe he would do, like, help me. But
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, I'm sure that you're right. Maybe you're putting too much on yourself, that you're overthinking what he thinks, and maybe
Yeah.
if you just talk to him like you're talking to me right now,
Yeah.
I mean, that's some deep stuff. You got a lot to deal with,
Yeah.
but you gotta get clean first,
I know. There's some.
and don't be afraid of all the responsibilities and stuff, because definitely do something that you like, even if you're not getting paid that much, because if you don't like it, then you won't last.
Right.
Just find something that you enjoy doing, even if you're not getting paid that much, as long as you can survive, because I guarantee you that'll make you happier.
And that was my issue. Like, I went to Florida once. I went to rehab, and then I went to sober living in Florida, and I got a job immediately. I started the next day, but I was working in a call center. I was getting paid $250 a week. My rent was $225 a week, so I had $25 a week to live off of. It got to the point where I was working 2 jobs. I was stressed out. I was financially overwhelmed, and that's what led me to relapse. Like, I need to be able to.
Maybe it's better to live with someone, so you're not alone. I think that's important.
Well,
and rent could be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, like find a roommate or something.
Right.
Craigslist or whatever.
But first, you got to focus on you.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking. Like, if I do go back to treatment, like, I want to do something where
you're too young, man.
It's not just 21 days and they set me out. Like, I want to do like maybe
do a long
90
term.
days and then
I might.